BPO3 is supported by Timber King Sawmills. For more information on my 1220 CRZ mill, or one of many Foley hydraulic options, go to timberking.com. My two favorite ladies in the whole wide world are having a lazy day today. They both feel sick, feel body aches and whatnot. I've got this sinus crud going on. I got my deep Barry White voice going. And I've been battling some low energy the past couple days, but I've got a lot to do, so I'm gonna keep pushing on. Starting with this log today. I kind of sort of don't know where to begin. This side is all gnarly, right? Obviously. And this side's got a big split down the trunk up until right about here. So I think I'm gonna cut it right here and then put both sides on the mill and cut off the extra with the chainsaw and just see what I can get out of this thing. Hopefully I don't hit any metal. A couple things to worry about is there's poison ivy wrapped all the way around there. Yay! And I don't want to cut it on the trailer because I've made that mistake once in like 2019 or so, something like that. And I told myself I'm not going to cut anything on this trailer again. These deck boards are originally from 2016 and they're still doing the job, so I don't want to cut them up. I think the plan of attack is to put the grapple back on the tractor, grab that side, pull it off of the trailer, cut it on the ground, then I can put to each side up on the mill and have a pretty interesting educational sawmill day. Sounds like a plan, huh? I have no clue how much usable material I'm going to be able to get out of here. This split goes quite a way. Of course, got all kinds of other stuff going on right there. Not too sure. And of course, the elephant in the room, the big split on top. What's interesting is like, it's kind of like an optical illusion saying like, oh man, you got to raise this side up considerably. But in reality, that's the butt section. And this is going up the tree. The center axis actually needs to be lifted by a 1/2 inch on this side, according to that side over there. But I don't think I'm going to do that. And that's because I don't care if these are sawn a little bit off axis. I just want this to have maximum yield, because I'm going to be using this to make birdhouses for my daughter's birthday party. So this is not like fine furniture material, right? This is more or less a fun learning experiment. And good. I tell you what, if you ever find yourself out in the middle of nowhere, happen to have yourself a 3-foot high pile of wood chips and a tractor with a grapple where you can very precisely place your logs on top of said wood chips, you can go ahead and cut right through there and have no risk whatsoever of burying your saw into the dirt. All right, I'm looking for some advice from fellow sawyers here. When do you replace the blades? I think I could probably stretch all of my blades out just a little bit longer and keep cutting with them just a little bit longer. But once they kind of feel like they're getting dull as far as performance cutting through the wood, I swap them out. And I haven't had one break on me, but I think I can probably stretch them just a little bit longer. I'm not getting any bad cuts or anything. And these still feel super sharp. They really do. So am I doing the right thing by, as soon as it feels like it's starting to get dull as far as performance goes, take it off? Or at that point, can I just slow down a little bit and maybe get, you know, one more log out of the life of the blade? I don't know. I think I'm on the right track right now of just pulling them off when it feels dull as far as performance, but part of me thinks that I'm prematurely taking these off and not getting my money's worth. I don't know. Let me know how you decide to take these off. What do you think of it? Looks pretty, huh? It's pink right now, but you put water on it, it'll be red. Like almost like a maroon color. Uh-huh. Oh, you're gonna go put it in water? Here's some more pieces if you want them. Just be careful so you don't poke yourself, but yeah, put it in water and see what color it turns. I'm gonna go ahead and fire it back up again, okay? I don't know what that was, but I reached in my shirt and I pulled out a leg. One of its legs I had in my hand. I'm like, what the heck is biting me, stinging me, something? That little joker was mad at me. And now I'm mad at it. Ow! Go away, bud. Get off of my shirt. Go. Jeez, that hurt. When I moved the beams around that I had the lumber stacked on, we found Grace's red ball, which she loves. I just threw it off into some tall grass, and she's got grass stuck into her collar. Grace, are you okay, girl? That grass not bothering you at all? It's her superhero cape. I'm a dog, and this is my cape. I chase balls. Let's get this out. Oh, Grace. Gracie, stay, baby. Good girl. Let's get that off of you. brand spanking new blade for this log, and I popped it off, dragging backwards. I rotated the cant here, and I forgot that one dimension was still high. Just complete mental lapse, and pow, blade popped off. I put it right back on and kept going with it, and I didn't feel any difference as I was pushing it through as far as resistance go. That being said, this is only like 6 inches wide, so I wasn't going to get much resistance to begin with. I probably smoked that blade, but wanted to get 1 or 2 more cuts out of it. That sucks, is what it is. Well, you can tell summer is winding down. It's getting dark sooner and sooner. Right after milling this log, I had to jump in a shower and get all washed up. There was some poison ivy on that, and I'm not doing that again. I got down to this size of a cant. This is this size. This is a little more than 5 by a little more than 6. And I was going to continue on to it, but it's just too far eaten up. So all the pieces that I'm after are, you know, small sections for birdhouses. So maybe I could have got a piece from here to here and maybe one over there, but that doesn't justify taking another whole 1x layer off. I think there's more value in this to somebody if I just leave it as this and see if I can't find somebody who wants it. For like a, I don't know, stabilize it with epoxy and turn it into a fireplace mantle or something. The other 2 sides, which I don't know if I can twist this, flip it where I'm at. Other 2 sides have a lot more deterioration. So then, I don't know, the whole epoxy thing, is that opportunity for embellishing and making it look nice? I don't know. But anyway, I think this is going to be more interesting to somebody, or more valuable to somebody, in a large section like that, even if I give it away. I did get a decent yield out of that log, much more than I thought I would. You know, it's not perfect stuff. Everything is all split and gnarly, but there's plenty of sections that I can cut out enough material for birdhouses, and a couple pretty decent boards, right? There's a couple in here that are like nothing but heartwood. Beautiful, beautiful stuff when it's all this color. Like, that looks so good to me. Looks pretty good. I'm not worried about sticker stacking this tonight. It doesn't feel wet at all. Like, this stuff feels really, really dry. I don't know when the tree was taken down. But I'm gonna throw the fan on it regardless, let it sit overnight. I will sticker stack this in the morning, and then I will probably get into that top section of the log. That one, there's a lot more branches and limbs, making it look a little gnarly on the outside. But structurally, it looks like that one has more solid core to it. So I don't know. We'll see how much we can get out of it. Hopefully, we can get just as much yield out of it as I did here, and that should be plenty enough for the kids' birdhouses.